United States focused on the psychology of the paranormal, while the Soviets believed in the biological basis for psychic ability. One of those Soviet experiments involved testing whether telepathic communication could be used to communicate with remote regions, specifically with submarines. The thought process behind this was that without using conventional radio, such submarines would remain undetected, and it would also give the Soviet Union a way to communicate with its navy, even if radio infrastructure had been destroyed through a cataclysmic war with the US.
Wow, okay, I'm baffled. So it's essentially saying they were testing telepathy to see if they could communicate with submarines, so they didn't have to use a radio. Wow, well this obviously didn't work, unless this is a secret the government's hiding from us. And it does work, and there are some people out there who are telepathic, communicating with ships, planes, secret missions. That would be cool if it worked. Soviets tested everything. They were like, nothing's off limits. We'll test your whole life.
In the Six-Day War, Israel led a bombing run against the USS Liberty. Afterward, the United States and Israel both claimed it was a mistake. However, recent declassified documents and testimony revealed the Israeli pilots deliberately attacked knowing it was a US ship. The United States knew it wasn't a mistake, and they still covered it up to not embarrass a US ally. The only thing we don't know is why the Israelis attacked it in the first place.
That's baffling. There's so many secret alliances. I didn't even know the US was aligned with Israel. Or is that common knowledge? I thought the US didn't like Israel. I'm not sure. Anyway, Israel bombed a US ship. The US covered it up because they didn't want to embarrass the Allies that they accidentally bombed a US ship. Clearly they did it on purpose. They've got beef.
An obsession with alien conspiracy theories. In 1947, a United States Air Force surveillance balloon crashed near Roswell, New Mexico. But some people would have you believe that it was actually an alien spacecraft.
When the Roswell thing came up, I knew we'd get, gazillions of letters. So I had all the Roswell papers reviewed, everything.
If you saw that there were aliens there, would you tell us?
Yeah.
You would?
No, you wouldn't.
If it was a spacecraft, it was likely moved to Nevada's Area 51, where theorists claim that the US government examines alien technology and houses alien life form.
I don't believe Bill. I mean, no one believes Bill Clinton. I think it was proven he was a bit of a liar. But I don't think he would have mentioned the aliens. They all say that. Like Obama, when he was president, he was so hush-hush about the alien. Like he knew something. Like they all do. But they did come out and say, they had the alien files that came out recently from all the research. There's stuff. They pretty much confirmed that aliens exist, and they found. Anyway, there is no way that was a US surveillance balloon. Because why haven't we seen this before? We would have. That was a UFO. Alien in there. Then they have it in Roswell. They're testing their little sucker. Hey guys, welcome back to Top 10 Central Dark, your place for all things horror. I'm your host, Lucy McPhee, and these are the top 10 secrets the government is hiding from all of us. Specifically me. They tell me nothing. Really into the government at the moment.
This resulted in the discovery of Ahnenerbe, which was Heimlich Himmler's so-called science organization. The research and experiments carried out within its organization were horrific, and also included interest in occult and psychic phenomena. As well as instructing agents to gather up cult artifacts, it's believed that experimented with telepathy and telekinesis. Though documentation of these experiments is sparse, it's rumored that both the West and the Soviets started their own similar program.
Now the Germans are doing it too. Everyone's testing telepathy, and this time telekinesis. But where's the evidence? Show me the proof. Show me you being Professor X and moving things with your mind. Professor X did that, right? Jean Grey did both. She was the She had telepathy and telekinesis, and she is the best of the X-Men, to be honest. Then she died, so.
On Plum Island, the United States has a building called Lab 257, which is a facility where they tested biological weapons. While nefarious schemes have all been derived by them, documents were uncovered showing they had planned to use the weapons against Russian pigs, cattle, and horses to disrupt their economy.
Ooh, Whoa, US is savage. They sneaky. Wonder when this was happening. Apparently, first of all, the US has an island called Plum Island. Where the hell is this? And then they're testing all these nuclear. Then they were planning to disrupt the Soviets' economy and ecosystem? I don't know. By just attacking the pigs and the cows. That's savage. The pigs and the cows did nothing to you, but I get it. But sad.
The money they were making was going to support an army that the men who ran the cocaine ring worked for, called the FDN. This was an army that the CIA started in 1981 and supported.
Better known to us, most of us who remember news, the Contras.
The government has been called a lot of things: murderers, racists, and now drug dealers. In the late 1990s, Gary Webb, a Pulitzer Prize-winning reporter for the San Jose Mercury News, wrote a series of articles that linked CIA agents in Central America to drug rings in Los Angeles.
It was about a cocaine ring that operated along the west coast of the United States throughout most of the 80s.
Whoa, I feel like I'm doing something illegal by talking about this or reacting to it. Essentially, it's implied by this man, not me, that the US government are involved in some drug rings. I'm not saying it. I know nothing.
You know nothing.
Shiro Ishii's war crime immunity. During World War II in Japan, Shiro Ishii captured around 10,000 men during the course of the war and experimented on them with biological weapons. When Ishii was arrested by the US military, he negotiated his immunity from a war crime tribunal if he gave them his research. They accepted. Shiro Ishii is said to have relocated to Maryland, where he continued to advise on biological weapons.
Oh. Shit, you can make so many deals in the world. This guy was horrible, apparently, and then he was supposed to be locked away forever, but he made deals and handed over his research, and then they were like, you're good to go. You can go, you're free. Just give us the info, and you can leave. Sneaky. So many bad people in the world just because they made deals. They're out in the open, living their life.
Hey, wait a minute. You're supposed to be on the moon. I just saw it on TV.
Oh, there's a tape delay and with all solar winds.
Nearly half a century later, and people still don't believe that we actually sent people to the moon.
How about the whole man walking on the moon thing, you know? you could see the strings, people.
On July 20th, 1969, Apollo 11 crew members Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin became the first people to walk on the moon. This effectively ended the space race.
I get it. I understand some people have their conspiracy theories about the moon landing. I think it's real, right? I mean, they're sending rockets up there all the time. Well, not all the time. Has anyone gone to the moon since? Was it just a one-off? If it's just a one-off, then maybe you could suggest that something fishy was happening. But I think other people went to the moon. I'm sure they did. Peeps have been up there. It's boring at this point. No one cares if you go to the moon. But I do understand why people think it was fake, because it was a space race between the Soviets and the US were like, we have to win.
The United States wanted to learn more about Russian submarine and ICBM technology. They learned there was an underwater communications cable near the Sea of Okhotsk. They tapped the cable for years, spying on their communications. In 1980, Richard Pelton, an NSA agent, sold the secrets to the Soviets for $35,000, but was later arrested and imprisoned for life by the US.
That's what you get. Don't be spreading government secrets to the enemy. Of course you're going to be put in prison for life. He's probably dead now. He probably died in prison. Don't be spreading government secrets. That's treason. Government stuff's scary. I wouldn't want to be a government official or involved in that stuff. Because I've got a big mouth. I like to talk. I'd be like, guess what I learned today? Come home from work. All these secrets. Don't tell me the information.
Using this to spy on innocent American citizens. He literally will not give us an answer.
You may be a secret informant without even knowing it. Seriously. In 2008, Congress passed the FISA Amendments Act, which gave the government the authority to surveil Americans' international communications.
I believe that Congress and the public does not have an adequate understanding of the effect that this law has had and could have on the privacy of law-abiding American citizens.
The Freedom of Information Act required the government to release FISA documents, but they withheld the identities of electronic communication service providers that provided information.
Whoa, I didn't know that. So people need to calm down. about the vaccine and the government tracking you, when literally in America every day they're tracking you. Whoa, I didn't know they were intercepting international phone calls and then taking your data and using it. I saw recently as well they were trying to pass a bill, so they would with Mark Zuckerberg, so they could actually see the pictures on your phone to see if there was any criminal stuff, and then they would use it against you. Isn't that insane? Well, there we have it. Thanks for tuning into this video. I've been your host, Susan McPhee. Instagram for bloopers. I've already forgotten the word. Chris, what's this? Mind reading. What is it? What's the word? Where you're telepathic. They were testing telepathy. God, Matthew Santoro is everywhere. It was sad. It still makes me cry in X-Men 3, The Last Stand, when she, you know, this is Wolverine with his claws, and then he goes right in her stomach. Chris! I love this guy. Okay, yeah, let's just pick up in the middle of the clip. I remember where we were at. It would make sense. No, it wouldn't.